official launch of our City Speaks Tour. I'm very excited to have with me today really just a roster of some powerhouses both here in the Huntsville area and actually beyond. So my name is LaTanya Moore. I guess they call me the visionary. I don't know about that, but they call me the visionary of Rocket City Speaks. And for those of you that do not know, we have actually been doing this since about November of 2017 is when we first started. And now we are at a point that we are launching a multi-city tour. And what better place to start than right here in the Rocket City where it all began. So I'm very excited to be among greatness today. For those of you that don't know, we're going to have a number of speakers today that are going to be sharing their thought leadership. And then we're also going to be talking specifically about how your gift will make room for you. So that's the part that I'm excited about. But without further ado, because y'all know y'all don't want to hear me talking all day, but without further ado, I want to bring to the stage Mrs.Donnie Brown Hill. And I'm going to tell you guys who she is before she comes up here, though. She is known as the Sleep Wellness Speaker. She has over 21 years of clinical research and academic experience. She has 7 years experience as a life coach. But one of the most important things that I want to share with you guys is that she is also a military veteran who has a level of expertise in PTSD, which you guys know that PTSD does not just cover people that have been in the military, although that's where we hear about it most often. So she's going to share lots of things with you guys about the importance of sleep and some things that you can do to make sure that you are in tip-top shape. So without further ado, we're going to bring her right on up to the stage. Thank you.
Well, hello, beautiful souls. It is an honor to be in your presence, first and foremost. And I'm here to tell you that you're enough, you are 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 enough, and you are enough. What we're struggling with today is just letting go and letting it flow. We have problems of just letting things go. And one of the things I find is that when you're not able to even sleep, because sleep is, when you lose sleep, that's the first sign something is really wrong, right? You know, okay, something is just not right in my life because I can't sleep. But I want you each to know that you're enough. We are each broken. We are. Because if you think about it, imagine this. You came into this world whole. You came in whole and with a light. And then the world got a hold of you. And it dropped you. And guess what happened? You're broken. But the blessing is in the brokenness.
Yes.
Is it not?
Yes.
It is in the brokenness. Because what happens is, what does that mean? That means that at that moment you get to choose what pieces you pick up. You get to use the greatest gift you were ever given. Choice. Do you not understand that we are the only species that was given choice? That we're the ones that can choose who we mate with, where we live, even what we think and how we feel. Yes. We're the only species was given that. But see, what happens is when the pieces are all over there and they're broken, we pick them back up because that's who we are. We tell ourselves, you know, I've always been this way. And then you pick them up out of duty, shame, guilt, obligation, but not of self-love. So you have to pick them up, the ones that serve you, that's going to bring you back to wholeness. Because see, when you start picking up the pieces, you'll pick up one and it'll cut you. And you'll remember the pain that that person or that situation brought to you, and you'll drop it. Or you'll try to pick up and make it whole again. And it's all gone. It's dust to dust. You can't bring it back. And then some of the pieces you try to pick up and put in that wholeness, which you decide is wholeness, it won't even fit anymore. Because it was seasonal. It was seasonal. It was never supposed to be. So you have to come from that space of knowing that the blessing is in the brokenness. And you have to come from the space to know just because it happened to you doesn't mean it's about you. Because we all bring our own values, beliefs, garbage, trash, and all to the situation. So you bring in all of that to the table. All of that is coming that you will fight over and defend? Your values, your beliefs, your experiences. You will defend those. If someone comes to you and says, you don't know what it's like to be a single mother. Woo. So what happens? You defend that. Wait a minute, hold up, I got this. But see, the blessing is in the brokenness. At that point, you can decide what's going to make me whole again. What's going to bring light back to me. The blessing is in the brokenness. It truly is. But see, this smart chick with scars, she's smacking individuals. She understood that, you know what, this is all about truth. This stands for truth. I have to accept the reality of the situation that's happening at this moment, not based on what I need. I got to find the truth in it. And there's always three types of truths. There's your truth, their truth, and the truth. We have to come from that space. But this smart chick with scars is smacking individual's face. Smart is for self-management. See, we think we got to manage our time, but see, we all get the same 24. We all get the same 24. So what do we have to manage ourselves? I ask you, what is your most valuable commodity?
My breath.
What is your most valuable commodity?
Time.
What is your most valuable commodity?
My body.
Most valuable commodity?
My heart.
My time.
I have three. They're my knowledge, my energy, and my time. I will manage those. And if you manage those, you don't have to worry about time. Because we all get the same 24. But see, this smart chick with scars in individual space. Chick stands for communication. I understand that I have to learn how to communicate, not just for myself, but for others. So you have to come from the space. I've been married almost 27 years, and we had to learn how to communicate because the relationships we had around us was toxic. So we didn't know how to communicate, so we had to come up with our own way of doing it. So we call it heart to heart. Heart to heart is an acronym that stands for everybody wants to be heard, they want empathy, acceptance, respect, time, and they want to trust you. So when you have a conversation with somebody, come from that heart to heart. But see, this smart chick with scars is smacking individual's face. Scars is my self-image. I had to learn how to love myself when nobody else was loving me. So you have to realize that we are beauty and the beast. See, we like to separate the two, especially as Christians. You know, we're just beauty all the time. But we're beauty and the beast. But see, beauty is that part of us that's compassion, loving, caring, will do for others. Now, beast on the other side, okay? No, it's a sentence.
Yeah.
You will not disrespect me. And sometimes you got to cuss people out because they don't know what nice is. Okay? So you come from that space and understand you cannot become whole until you understand that you are both beauty and the beast. But see, this smart chick with scars is smacking individual space. Smack is what? Success. I define that. I define that as my family, in my life, in my career. I define that. I decide what that is. I decided to raise my children different than my mother because I wanted a different outcome. That was my success. I have a marriage that's different than some other people. That defines success for me. You have to decide what success is for you. And guess what? This smart chick is smacking individual's face. Individual's values. What do you value? What are your top three values? Do you even know your top three values? No, a better question is, are you making choices and decisions based on those top three values? Because if you're not making any choices or decisions based on those three values, then you're going to be unhappy. Because anything that goes against your values is unhappiness.
Yes.
So, what are your top three?
My dreams, my space, and my peace.
Your peace, okay. And you, my lady?
Compassion, empathy, and giving.
Okay. And you, my lady?
I believe that my top three is giving, encouraging, and definitely my dreams.
Okay. So if those are your values, so are you making decisions that are going to make you get to your dreams?
Absolutely.
Are you making decisions so you can have empathy?
Yes.
Okay, you have to be sure that when you're making those decisions that you put that into the equation. So again, this smart chick was calling us. This is back individual space. And space is sleep wellness. Sleep wellness is nothing more than surrendering the darkness of the day to the fast approaching light of dawn of tomorrow. What does that mean? To let go of your mess so you don't have a life of mess. That's what that means. So you need to go ahead and start living a life where you can let things go. It is time to stop holding on things that were never yours in the beginning. Many of us are holding on narratives from people. It was because mama spoke it didn't mean it was for you. That's right. See, we get caught up because someone said it that it was for us. Sometimes she's coming from pain. She didn't trust not a man, but it had nothing wrong to do with you finding a good man. So you got to come from that space you know who you are. So I ask you, can you humor me and close your eyes? Just close your eyes. I want you to envision yourself in your favorite position in the bed, sleep position I'm talking about now. Your favorite position. You got that pillow, that blanket. I like 4 blankets on me because I like the heaviness of it.
Yes.
And I'm just, Now I want you to stand over your bed and watch yourself sleep. Just keep your eyes closed. Now we're going to go through the cycle of sleep. And each cycle happens about 4 to 5 times. So we're going to go into N1 now, and that's when you start dozing off. You can see yourself move a little bit, and you're just dozing off. But you're still awake, but you're not asleep. And you can be easily awakened at this point, but you're just trying to go to sleep. How many times in your life are you living a life a half awake and half asleep? How many times in your life have you decided that you're going to let distractions get in the way of what you really want to do? Now I want you to just go ahead and relax, get yourself comfortable again, fluff that pillow. Now I want you to, we're going to N2. N2 is that onset of sleep. You're disengaged from your surroundings at this point. You're not awakened easily. Just relax. You're asleep. At this point in your life, you're fully living. You're not being distracted by things that don't really matter. Just stay, just get comfortable. Just stay in the bed, just keep watching. Now we're going to go into that deep restored sleep. That's N3. That's where your tissue is repaired and healed. Where your growth hormone comes in to develop your muscles. Where your energy is restored. Where you get just a boost in your immune system. Now I want you to think about your life. If you could just go through these cycles. If you go through N3, guess what you can do? You can forgive. Who do you need to forgive? What do you need to let go of? What's keeping you up that you can't let go, you can't surrender? Just keep your eyes, just think about what's holding you back. Because if you go through that N3, guess what? You become out stronger, taller. You repair because you forgive, you're healing. Then we're going to just go into the next stage of sleep, which is REM sleep. That's where you dream. That's where you dream. You're going through the cycle and you're dreaming. And guess what else? You're processing the memories from the previous day. You got energy coming to your body, into your mind. What's holding you back from your dreams? You could get to N1. You won't even surrender and let go, and then get to N2 so you can actually just let go and be free. In N3, you're stronger. You're growing. And then you get to dream. What are your dreams? What are you missing out on? You open your eyes for me? A lot of us won't even surrender just to a simple night of sleep. And we're missing out on more than just our physical. We're missing out on our spiritual ones. We won't even surrender. You're missing out on so much, not even taking the natural process of going to sleep. Sleep is a natural, periodic rest for your mind, body, and spirit. It's a time for you to be able to make value-based choices because you're rested. You're fully where you need to be. But we come from that and we go into our lives and we're not present. We're not fully present in our lives. So start thinking about when you can't sleep. Why can't you sleep? Why can't you let it go? Just as I said earlier, just because it happened to you doesn't mean it's about you. I believe you were discussing earlier, a lady called you and she was very rude, and you just let her just vent and you didn't say anything. It had nothing to do with you. It wasn't even about you. But we take everything so personal. And we forget to accept the reality of what's happening because we want it to be so different. We need it to be different. It can't be this way because you told me you love me. You can't do this to me. You're dealing with somebody who's wounded too. How dare you not give them the opportunity to love you how they can and show them the way you want to be loved. But we won't do that. We'll dispose of things. And that's what we do with sleep. We just dispose of it. It's not necessary. It's not necessary to sleep. I can wait to do that. What entrepreneurs say? Entrepreneurs say, I'll wait till I die.
I die. I sleep when I die.
I sleep when I die. So how can you function at the level you need to if you're not willing to surrender? A simple 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. Because that 1/3 that you sleep of your life, it completely affects the other 2/3. It affects it. And if you think about the process of your life and you're trying to fulfill your dreams, it's the same thing because you won't surrender. You won't let go of the moment of, I can't believe they did that to me. I can't believe she said that to me. It ain't got nothing to do with you. Because we all bring our baggage. We bring our wounds to the table. So sleepfulness is the foundation. It poses your life. Poses is an acronym for the 6 dimensions of wellness. It's physical, occupational, intellectual, emotional, social, and spiritual. All that encompasses who you are. So if we look at our physical, let's think about it. If you want physical wellness, that's the ability to do what? To know that your body is a temple and only give you good things. But we don't. I just had a donut on the way here. I did not need that donut, but I had a donut and a cup of coffee on the way here. I did not need that donut and that coffee. If my daughter was on the side of me, she would have said no. She has so much self-control. It's amazing. She's a track star. It is amazing. I'm like, I need to be like you when I grow up. Self-control. Then we think about occupational wellness. What happens a lot of times is we come from this space that we don't understand. It's just that. It's an occupation. It occupies our time to enrich our lives, but it should never occupy what is precious in our lives. But we don't come from that space. And then let's think about intellectual wellness. What is intellectual wellness? That's that part of you knowing that you have all the answers already in you. And the answers are within you. And information is obtained and shared. We need to share what we know so we can help other people. There's social wellness. We have just forgot what it means to even be among the human race. It is so essential that we have the ability to understand that we are part of the human race and that we have to love ourselves enough so we can let other people love us the way they know how. We refuse to do that. And then emotional wellness. The self-awareness to know that your emotions are nothing more than a compass through your life and a navigator to others so you can see good in all things. You see, we use our emotions like it's something bad. If you didn't have emotions, you wouldn't know not to let that boo-boo be near you. If you didn't have emotions, you wouldn't know that don't cross the street because you wouldn't be able to feel anything. You wouldn't be able to feel fear. You wouldn't be able to feel uncertainty. Those are just the negative ones. But if we come from the space of seeing good in all things, guess what? I was just not in a bad relationship. Guess what? I just didn't get hit by a car. Can we not come from that space? And then spiritual. It's really walking in your truth. Whatever that is. Not asking for permission. And guess what else? You see good in all things. And you see yourself in other people. Because see, we quick to say, especially as parents, we act like we want hoes or something, you know? We act like we want hot mamas. Some of us want hot mamas. And then our girls, you want to tell, don't do that. Won't you tell them what you did? Don't be afraid to tell them what you did. I did this would happen, and I don't want that to happen to you now. You're going to make your own choices, but I need you to know that this is possible, that this has happened. I'm not saying this because I don't understand, baby. I get it. I know how you feel. I told my daughter one time, she was young, she's 19 now, but she was younger, and I saw her with this little boy at a track meet, and they was just giggling at each other, and just, and I talked to her later, and I said, you like him, don't you? She's like, no, not really. I said, but you had a feeling, didn't you? She's like, yeah. I said, it don't go anywhere, baby. That feeling always comes when you're with somebody that you like. So you ain't got to rush into anything, because it don't go anywhere. It comes back. You can wait. You don't have to do it now.
Yeah.
So, sleep wellness is nothing more, again, than surrender the darkness of the day to the fast approaching light of dawn tomorrow. And it's about just letting go of the mess so you won't have a life of mess. I want to read something to you. It's one of my favorite poems, and it's by an unknown author, and it's called Letting Go Takes Love. Letting go does not mean to stop caring. It means I can't do it for someone else. To let go is not to cut myself off. It's the realization I can't control another. To let go is not to enable, but to allow learning from natural consequences. To let go is to admit powerlessness, which means the outcome is not in my hands. To let go is not to try to change or blame another. It's to make the most of myself. To let go is not to care for, but to care about. To let go is not to fix, but to be supportive. To let go is not to judge, but to allow another to be a human being. To let go is not to be in the middle arranging all the outcomes, but to allow others to affect their destinies. To let go is not to be protective. It's permit another to face reality. To let go is not to deny, but to accept. To let go is not to nag, scold, or argue, but instead to search out my own shortcomings and correct them. To let go is not to adjust everything to my desires, but to take each day as it comes and cherish myself in it. To let go is not to criticize or regulate anybody, but to try to become what I can be. To let go is not to regret the past, but to grow and live for the future. To let go is not to fear less and love more, and to let go and to let God is to find peace. Remember, the time of love is short. I love this because we tend to think that when we allow people to be who they need to be, that we don't care. We tend to believe that when we're walking in a space and someone is not accepting of who we are, then something is wrong with us. And we really need to let go of the narratives. I think, as I stated earlier, we lose sleep over the nonsense in this life. Things that don't really matter. They really don't. Because of the big scheme of things, if you understand that everything happens in your life based on your choices, God's grace, and there's going to be natural consequences for every choice. If you come from that space, you'll understand that life is a journey. It is a journey. Just like the stages of sleep in the different cycles. You're going to have peaks and valleys. But there's a journey that you have to go through. When it comes to N3, it's really long in the beginning of sleep. In that first 1 or 2 cycles. REM progressively gets longer. It's the longest during that last cycle of sleep. And what does that tell you? That tells you that you already have the muscle, the strength, you can let go and forgive before you even start working on your dreams. Even before you get it, you already have everything that you need. So take the time to sleep. I actually want you to sleep all through life. I heard, I think it was Warren Buffett saying, don't sleep through life. Well, I want you to. I want you to sleep through life. Because when you sleep, you are surrendering. You're letting go. And when you walk, you're moving. So I need you to let go of stuff so you can walk in the direction that you need to. So sleepwalk. Take pride in sleepwalking through this life. Decide the direction that you want to go in. Be who you want to be, so you can be the light that you're supposed to be. So thank you again for honoring me.
Before you leave the stage, does anyone have any questions? That was fabulous, by the way. Thank you. Thank you. Does anyone have any questions, comments?
I do want to say this about sleep. I always like to lead with these two things. Anybody here wear a CPAP or supposed to wear a CPAP? If you know anyone that's supposed to wear a CPAP, please tell them that they're killing themselves. They're suffocating every night. Because I want you to tell them this. One of the things that happened when Reggie White died, a lot of men came in. Reggie White died due to complications of sleep apnea. That's how he died. He didn't wear his CPAP. The one day that Reggie White did not wear his CPAP is the day he died. His wife has an organization in Minnesota where they give out free CPAPs to people. But if you imagine yourself laying next to somebody that you truly love, that you will give your life for, and they take a pillow and they put it over your face, and they just put it over your face for 10 seconds and you can't breathe, and then they take it off, and you catch your breath, and they put it back over your face for 10 seconds, you can't breathe, and you take it off and you can breathe. That's what you're doing to yourself every night when you don't wear your CPAP. The second thing I want to leave you with is stop calling my kids, these teenagers and these young adults lazy. First and foremost, their circadian rhythm has changed when they become a teenager, which means they are designed to sleep later and wake up later. So when they want to sleep in on the weekend, they're tired because they haven't gotten any sleep during the week because they're working off your schedule. Because you got to get up at 8 o'clock and you have to be somewhere by 9 o'clock. They have to get up. So allow them the time to catch up on their sleep. They're not lazy. Their body is designed to sleep late and to wake up later. That's why some states are actually changing the time when they start school, because these children are not getting enough sleep. So some of the signs of ADHD is sleep deprived. They are sleep deprived. They do not have ADHD. They are sleep deprived. So I'm asking you, if you know anyone whose child is on some medication, you might want to find out how much sleep they're getting. It may be something else. If you know somebody that's on CPAP, please tell them to wear their CPAP. It is essential that you wear your CPAP because you're killing yourself. And then it gives you more complications if you end up with some type of comorbidities. If you have hypertension, you have diabetes, heart disease, it affects all that. Okay? Thank you.
No questions? No questions? Y'all got to give her another round.
Look, I'm gonna be honest while we up here. I didn't know how she was gonna pull off sleep and empowerment and how you could apply sleep to your daily life besides telling you to get more. So you gotta give her a round of applause for that. So we're going to keep on with our program, guys. Thank you so much for being supportive. And for those of you that are watching via video, thank you. Please, please, please feel free to leave your questions, comments right there in the feed. We all are watching them. We are going to be getting to those questions, and I will definitely be sharing those with all of the speakers that are coming forth today. We want to thank you guys for your support. Please share this video. Again, I told you guys we have some phenomenal speakers that are here. So without further ado, I'm going to bring our second speaker up. Her name is Andrea Ball. She is let me tell you guys about Andrea. I absolutely love Andrea as a self-proclaimed middle-aged woman. As a self-proclaimed middle-aged woman, I am always inspired when I see young women that I always say, man, I wish I was like her when I was 24, 25 years old, because I'm like, man, if I was like her at 24 or 25, I would be off the chain right now. I would be beyond the goals that I've set for myself at this moment. So Andrea is one of those people, and I'm saying that publicly, even though I've said that to her privately, so this is not anything that she has not heard. I do say that to her publicly, but Andrea founded a company called Dope Reads, and her passion is really to keep literacy alive. And oftentimes, you know, in the world of emojis, right? I always say we went from hieroglyphics, now we're going back, right? Nobody's encouraging anybody to read, so I'm just honored to have her be a part of the Rocket City Speaks platform today. So without further ado, Andrea Ball.
Thank y'all. Latanya is so sweet. She's so sweet. So before I get started, I'm gonna tell y'all a little bit about me. I'm hot mess. So I always knew I wanted to do something, but I had no idea what I wanted to do. And for the people who work with me, who knew me every week, it was something new. Like I was like, I'm gonna be a medical assistant, and then it's like, oh, I'm gonna be a doctor. Oh, I'm gonna do nails. Like it was always something, right? So it wasn't until I met this guy, because that's always how it started, right? I met this guy, and looking back, God is so funny. But when I was going through it, it wasn't funny at all. I met this guy, and when I seen him, y'all, I was like, who is that? What is that? I'm talking about, like, as soon as I see him, I'm like, oh, I got to get with him. Who is that? So I meet this guy, and long story short, he tells me he's writing a book. And I'm like, I can write a book. I can write a book, man. Okay. And so, one of my gifts at the time, I've always had a love for reading, and I always read the Bible, right? So he didn't understand the Bible. So I would always, he would come over, and we would read the Bible together and pray and have Bible study. And it would just be awesome, you know, and that was kind of how I slid in there. I'm telling you, God is so funny. So I was like, you know what, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to write a book for people where they are, so they can get to know God, where they at, and, you know, they can understand the Bible. Because when you first start off with reading the King James Version, it don't make no sense. Every time you open the Bible, you get sleepy. Y'all know the tricks the enemy plays. So I was like, I'm going to write something short, sweet, to the point. So that was one of my gifts. And God is so funny because I'm sure you've heard someone say before that everything that you need is already within you. It's just to bring it out.
Yes.
And so people hear gifts and they think, oh, a talent or a skill. But, you know, people overlook the fact that your experiences are a gift. Your brokenness is a gift. You know, the tragic things that you go through, those are your gifts, and God uses those as well. So this guy that I was dating, y'all, it ended horribly. Like, I was so crazy. I was thinking this man was my husband. And he wasn't. Like, it wasn't, and it was so horrible. And I was so mad. I was like, God, you know, why'd you let me go through that? I was like, God, you know, why'd you let me go through that? I didn't understand. And so, throughout that time, I started reading more, because I've always liked to read. And from that's how I found the Dope Reads. I'm like, you know what, I need to build a business around reading. Because I can read all day. I need to find a way to make money from this, right? And so I have a gift for ideas. Like, I have a gift to come up with $1 million ideas. If you need an idea, let me know, because it's just something. Okay. Look, if you need an idea, let me know, because God has given me this. I think someone told me an idea engineer.
Okay.
That they just spit out all the
Trademark it, girl.
But it's like all the time, it's like I'm out, it's like, and I'm like, okay, God, hold on, you got to get it to somebody else. Like, I'm writing Tyler Perry, sending him ideas, like, please do something with this. And you know, it's just so funny. In that time, that's how I found the Dope Reads. And a few weeks ago, I had a singles conference, and a girl asked me, she said, how did you get started about this? So I told her about the guy, and I told her about that, and then I went home. And you know, when you're out with everybody, you always have your face on, everything look good. But when I went home, and that was when I realized I wasn't quite over it, you know. And honestly, I was still mad at God. I was like, God, you let that happen? You're supposed to be down for me. You know what? You're supposed to be down. I feel like you weren't loyal then. And then that's when it finally happened. I got my closure, and I realized about the gifts. Because God said, you know, I allowed that to happen to you. Hey, y'all know what a glow stick is, right? And my friend Kiara told me this. A glow stick is just a stick until you break it. Once you break it, that's when the glow comes out.
That's right.
And so God said I had to allow all that to happen so that you could glow. I had to allow that to happen. If you never would have made him, you never would have wrote no book. You weren't thinking about no book. That's a gift I gave you. You seen him and you like, oh yeah, but you looking That's a gift. That experience that I went through was a gift, and I'm so mad about it. Instead of looking at God, you really worked this thing out. Your mind, they say that your ways are not our ways, but you really thinking a whole next level.
All right.
And it's like your gifts, just your gifts. So first of all, you have to realize what your gifts are, not just at what you got, what you're good at, what you can do, but what you went through. I tell everybody, anything that I go through at this point is marketable. I'm not going through anything else and keeping it to myself. If I go through something, if I go outside right there and my car catch on fire, you better believe it's going to be a book, a ebook, a class. It's going to be something going on to help somebody else, right? And you have to learn how to work it. God will put you in front of the right people, but you have to be prepared, and you cannot go in fear. Even if you are afraid, you have to do it afraid. You have to go through. When I first started vending, I would be so scared. And if you know me, you know I'm a very outgoing person. But every time I would go out, this spirit and fear would get me, and I would be sitting at my table, and I wouldn't say nothing. And my best friend would always go with me. And it was one event, she just couldn't make it. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was sitting there, and God said, well, what you gonna do? If you gonna talk, you gonna get up and go home. What you gonna do? And I said, I looked around, I got up, threw my dress down, I was like, hey, how you doing? And that's a gift that I have. You ain't just crazy out here talking to people. You have a gift of connecting with people, to making people feel comfortable with you, to communicate with you, to say, what you doing? What you got going on? Let me link up with you. That's just a gift that I have. And it wasn't until I went through all these different experiences. People always want to count down the experiences. They go through something and they get mad and they're like, oh, why did this happen to me? What did I do? But we don't know God's plan. We don't know how his almost twisted mind works. It's like sometimes I'm like, God, you could have just said, write a book. You could have just told me that. Took me through all this. But that's a gift, to be able to be connected with God like that, where he said, okay, this is what I'm going to take you through all this and that. But when you get through it, I'm going to give you these opportunities. I'm going to put you with the right people. I'm going to open these doors up. And you're going to go back and help people and do what I told you to do. So let me tell you about me and God. Me and God have a very funny relationship. God doesn't tell me anything because I'm very stubborn and I want to do what I want to do. So God just kind of has me do it. And then in the middle I realized, oh, this is God. Okay. If I had it my way, I'd probably be somewhere on the beach, read, living my life. And God is like, oh, nope, we got some other stuff to do. And that's a gift, to understand that your relationship with God is not going to be like everybody else, that you are your own person. And I have argued with so many people out there, they're like, God, don't say that. I'm like, honey, God connect with you on whatever level you're God done told me, girl, shut up. Get to praying, talk prayer. Shut up, go to sleep. Mid prayer, go to sleep. But you have to just operate in what you are and what you have and become who you're supposed to be. I see so many people that are like, I want to be the next Oprah. And if I do this, I'll be like Oprah. And if I do this, Beyonce did this, so if I do this. And you like, look, that's so cool, but you got to be the best I want to be what God got for me. I want to be Andrea. I mean, Oprah's cool, and we probably gonna hang out one day. But I want to be me. I want to be the Andrea Ball. I want to be the person that I am and fulfill my gifts and my talents. And technology has changed the game on everything. People like to talk about technology level. It scares me sometimes because it's like, Lord, what don't I know? I was setting up a distribution deal for a bookstore. And I was going to place some books there for consignment. And this lady said, I don't know why people use the internet. There is no way to make money on the internet. And I turned around and looked, and she was serious. And she was kind of had attitude. She was like, you can't make no money on the internet. I said, Lord, I can't afford to be there wrong, Jesus. I can't afford to not know this kind of stuff, Lord. Whatever I don't know, I need you to send it to me. And that's a gift that we have. We have the gift of technology, that you can reach thousands of people for free in an instant. And you see people on there arguing and fighting. I'm like, listen, this is a marketing tool. But like I said, that's a gift. Your perception, the way that you look at things, the way that you view things. And that's one thing I love about reading, and I promote about reading, because when you read, your life changes, your perception changes, you begin to see things in a different light. And that's why God works in multiplicity. You might, like the story of Jonah. Somebody looks at the story of Jonah and they say, he ran from God. Somebody else might look at it and say, man, he allowed Jonah to run so that the people on the ship can get saved. Somebody else might look at it and say, he gave the whale a purpose. Like, you never know, because God works in so many different ways. It's all in your perception. And that's why I love what I do, and I'm so thankful for everything that I went through, even when I didn't want to go through it, because God has allowed my gifts, He allowed me to operate in my gifts and things that I love and that I'm good at. And it's a challenge to me sometimes, because like I was talking to Tam, and she blessed me, she don't know, I was telling her I was reading this book, and I was like, it don't make no sense, I don't understand. And when she started sharing her story with me, my perception changed. The way I looked at it changed. And that's a gift that we are able to change. You don't just see one thing and you stuck with it. You're not a tree. You have feet that you can move, that you can grow, that you can go somewhere else, that you can share something, and possibly fly if you'd like to. And it's like, it's just so amazing. So take a second and think about your gifts. What has God gifted you with? It's some things in your life you went through and you're like, Lord, I still don't know. I remember, I think, my 22nd birthday, 2 weeks for my 22nd birthday, it was like the worst week of my life. Like that Tuesday, my car got repossessed. Thursday, my apartment caught on fire. They put me in a loner apartment. The apartment flooded. I ended up getting strep throat. Had to go to the hospital, get a shot. It didn't work. Had to go back and get a shot. And I'm like, I'm still waiting. I'm like, it's something gonna come out of it. It's gonna be beauty from them ashes. Okay, that was a gift. Right. I went through that, and I'm not gonna let it go through in vain. Cause Lord, I don't want to have to go through it again. So I gotta stay on top of it and keep waiting and keeping an eye open and saying, what can I use from that? What can I benefit from that? How can I minister? How can I reach somebody with that? Because I didn't go through it for no reason. So your gifts are your experiences, the things that you went through, the things that you are good at, the way that you handle different situations, you know, and the opportunities afforded to you. You know, you have to stay open and ready. They say if you're already ready, you don't have to get ready. Man, I just hope that I'm ready all the time. It's like so much stuff. I don't know what the... Oh my God. If you come in my apartment right now, it is books everywhere. Because I don't know, you know, I don't know which way God's going. I was telling her that I'm a ball of randomness. I don't know. Some days I'm working on speaking, some days I'm writing a play, some days I'm writing a book, some days I'm playing The Sims, eating oranges on the couch because I don't get bothered. Like, it just, whatever it is. And you know, that's a gift. Yes. That's a gift. I'm a single lady. I'm by myself. If I want to eat oranges on the couch all day, I can do that. I can do just that. But I'm not going to hold y'all up long. I just want you to keep in mind of all the things that you possess that are gifts. The knowledge that you have and that you are able to get. The experiences that you went through. The opportunities afforded to you. And the people that you've met. Y'all, there's been some people in my life that I have literally been like, I could have totally went without ever meeting them, Lord. Like, I could have never met them. I'm talking about I could have never even passed them in traffic before. I could totally not have nothing to do with them. But even they were a gift. And I'm using it some kind of way. Whether it's like, Lord, He taught me how to keep my mouth shut sometime, or He taught me how to deal with people that I really, really, really don't like. Or He showed me another side of somebody that helped me to understand them better. Yeah. You know, it's all in how you look at things and how you perceive things. So thank y'all so much. The line is looking so fly today, y'all. You gotta check it. I'm like, let me get in the gym. I be coming over here, Latanya be giving all this body. I'm like, I gotta shape up. Because she is out running laps around me.
Stop. Any questions for Andrea?
Oh, any questions? Yes.
So how do you deal with being your age and there aren't many people your age who are moving in the ways and directions that you're going? How do you deal with your peers?
Have you seen, it's a video on Facebook that talks about code switching. You know, like if you're around people, you kind of put on your professional voice and we are like, hey, that's kind of what I do. I kind of just blend into the environment. But for the most part, I've always always attracted to older people, more mature people. And usually I'm like the big sister of the gang. Like, you know, when people don't pay their rent. And I'm like, come on, mama. Yeah, I know you ain't know what to do. Just come on. Or they got something going on. I'm like, come on, come on. But they help keep me grounded too. Because I have this false sense that I'm Superwoman. And I can do everything, anything, all the time. And I can do this and that. And they're like, all right now, you sure you can do that? You know you can't, you know, like I was like, I'm gonna stay up all night and finish this chapter. And they're like, you know you're gonna be asleep at 10, right? I'm like, what? And they're like, yeah. And like 9:50, I'm passed out on the phone with them. So they keep me grounded, and I always encourage them, but I've always talked to older people. So when I'm with them, I just be kind of chill. I try to relate to them as best as I can, but a lot of times I can't relate because a lot of my friends have husbands, boyfriends, a lot of them have kids, and I'm like, you know, got any oranges in there? Like, I'm just trying to fit in, but my relationships are very important to me. So I always make time, no matter what I got going on, even if it's just shooting a text and be like, hey, just thinking about you, or putting their name on the wall to pray for them. I always go the extra mile because I don't want them to think like, oh, she thinks she doing that, she too good for us. It's like, no, I need y'all, because you know, I need people that are my age, that are older than me. I read somewhere, someone told me you need 3 people in your life. You need one person that's like a mentor that you can look up to, that can help guide you. You need somebody that's on the same level as you to keep you grounded, and you need someone to pull forward with you. So I always try to keep those people around me and make sure I nurture my relationships. Yeah. Anybody else?
Give Andrea a hand,
I want to be like Andrew when I grow up. I always tell her that. But thank you so much for sharing that. And I know I echo what everybody's been saying. You really are an inspiration to us. And I'm not just saying that because I really, really like you. But you really are an inspiration to us. Thank you so much for sharing today.
Yes, thank
Y'all, I'm just so full right now with everybody that's been sharing, and even before the event started, you know, we had an opportunity to just sit and just talk and just bond, because most of us there were a couple of people that I had not met before today. So, you know, it's always important for me to take the time to build relationships, because when we don't take the time to talk and listen and kind of get to know each other and just gel, you know, it's meaningless afterwards. So I want to thank all of you ladies for doing that as we're pushing through the program, and thank you so much for being attentive and asking questions and just being a part of this process. So we're going to move right along to the next person who is certainly not a stranger to Rocket City Speaks. You guys may have seen her before. If not here, certainly in other settings around Huntsville. She is a Toastmaster guru. I'll let her tell y'all if she want to share any of that. And I'm going to read, listen, she's going to get me if I don't read what she wrote, y'all. Because she is all about order, okay? Introducing Beverly Jones-Durr. Now, Beverly retired from federal service after serving 24 years with the Department of the Army. Y'all gotta give her a hand just for that. Okay? She's an artist, speaker, certified life and business strategist, and educational facilitator. She is the founder and CEO for the nonprofit Every Child Has a Story, as well as CEO at Beverly Jones-Durr Enterprises. She has a bachelor's in early childhood development and education, bachelor's in legal policy, as well as a master's in acquisition and contract management. She's a member and current vice president of education of the High Noon Toastmasters Club, having earned both Advanced Communicator Silver and Advanced Level Bronze from Toastmasters International. Other affiliations include membership in the Women's Speakers Association. She is a delegate for the International Women's Leadership Association, international membership of Professional Advisors, Coaches and Trainers, Impact, and the International Association of Professional Life Coaches. Beverly is also ordained, married, and has 3 sons and 5 grandchildren, and she now calls Alabama her home. Today, Beverly will share her journey to discovering her divine assignment and explain why understanding your divine assignment is so important. Welcome Beverly to the stage.
Thank you. Oh, I love me some Latanya Moore.
No, thank you.
Andrea today reminded me of all the gifts that we have. A lot of what you said today really resonated with me because I want to take a wild guess and say I might be the oldest person in this room.
No.
Oh, no, girl.
I am 62.
Woo!
So I listened to you and I heard my young voice coming out of your mouth. So I know I was thinking the right stuff. Andrea's a powerhouse and I just want y'all to give her another hand. So today I'm going to talk to you guys about my divine assignment. And when I say divine, whomever you believe in as a divinity over your life, I'm okay with that, but mine is Jesus Christ, and I just need to be able to say that. Because every place I've ever gone, he was right there.
Yes.
That's my ride or die.
Yes.
The true ride or die.
Yes.
So what is this divine assignment? Well, I see Jesus as my teacher, my instructor, and I'm a student. As a matter of fact, I tell a lot of people, I don't drive the bus. Jesus drives the bus, and I am sitting in the shotgun seat. So where Jesus goes, that's where this girl goes. I learned a lot over my lifetime. As I said, I've had a really great life. And I have had ups and downs. Who doesn't have them, right?
Right.
We all experience our ups and downs and our peaks and valleys, and how we are able to manage them or manipulate our way through them has a lot to do with the relationship that you have with your divine power. You see, the relationship that I have with Jesus is such that whenever there's anything I need to talk about, I just do it, and he automatically hears me.
Amen.
My mother used to say, when you asked, you always answered, but sometimes you're not paying attention. I was reminded of that last month when I was in the process of managing my very first nonprofit conference for children. And sister was stressed, big time stressed. My husband had walked in the room where I was, and he started to say something, and I remember him saying, you gave me this look that said, wherever it is, keep it. And I remember thinking, you know what, it's probably time for me to go into timeout. My timeout is my prayer closet in my office. I spend time in it in the mornings anyway from 8 to 8:30. But that particular time, I gave myself a timeout. And I knew it. It's like, Jesus, I'm coming in the room because I'm tripping and I'm stressed and I need some help. I just need to tag you for a minute. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to be quiet and I'm going to wait till you tell me something. So I'm sitting in my closet on my pillow with the light out, with my eyes closed and my Bible in my lap, thinking that, maybe he's going to have me read a scripture or something like that. No, Jesus. Jesus said, I don't know why you're tripping, because everything I gave you and everyone you need to accomplish your divine assignment is already in your realm. You just not paying attention. I was like, what? I'm not paying attention. So he repeated it to me again. And I'm like, okay, so hold up. So what you're saying is that the people are there and I have ignored them. And I need to listen more than I speak. Jesus said, yep. You need to listen more than you speak. That very same afternoon, I had a Toastmasters meeting. I wasn't speaking that day, but I was Toastmaster. So as Toastmaster, you get to see everybody coming in the room, every single person, and you greet them. One individual walked in the room, and the Lord said to me, pay attention to her. That person is in the room today. It's Kathy. Okay, so pay attention to her. This is what the Lord said. Okay, don't pay attention. You know, you don't want to look crazy when you hear voices. Especially when you know it's Jesus. Because who won't understand that but you and Jesus, right? I'm just saying. Okay, so I'm paying attention and I'm thinking, okay, he told me everybody I needed and everything was in my realm. So she's in my realm. I've seen her before. Like, where have I seen her before? Guess where I saw her, y'all?
Where?
Right here in this room. Right here in this room.
So she was already.
I had already saw her before, but you see, I wasn't paying attention. God will show you what you miss if you asked. See, that's my teacher. And when I have a question about the life lesson I'm supposed to be mastering, doesn't it make sense to go back to the teacher?
Yes.
I mean, who knows best than the person who wrote the curriculum? I'm just saying.
There you go.
My divine assignment came that way. Now, I was a little girl, and I wanted to do everything like Andrea. I wanted to be an attorney, but I went to a friend's lawyer's office. I'm not even sure why they was there, but I went. Maybe because they didn't have a babysitter that day or something. And when I walked in, that room looked a lot like a library to me. And I'm a library girl, I'm a book girl. I'm not a bookworm, I'm a book ninja.
Okay.
Okay? So
Okay.
I'm like, okay, look, he got a lot of books. My mama said, but you're going to have to read every last one of them. And I'm standing there looking at this wall-to-wall books. And they were all the same color, so I was thinking, maybe they was all on the same topic. That's way too much stuff on one topic right there. So I decided, maybe I don't need to be a lawyer. I'm going to be a ballet dancer. Now, how you get from lawyer to ballet? I can do it. My mother said, I'm not really sure if the ballet thing is going to work out. Well, I wanted to be a ballerina because I like to jump. My mom said, okay, I got it for you. You need to be in gymnastics. I thought, what a brilliant idea. I'm going to do that. Until I saw the balance beam. The balance beam makes no sense, first of all. It's not wide enough for you to walk normal. And you have to put one foot in front of the other. I understood that. But when the girl in front of me did a backwards flip, I was totally through.
Yes.
I'm like, why you can't just sit down on the beam and then get off the beam? I got to flip to get off the beam? Not thinking about that one, no. My aunt gave me journals when I was little. Because a lot of things that happens in a child's life sometimes gets pushed aside or ignored by grown-ups. And my aunt, not necessarily knowing those things that happened to me, knew I needed to write them down. So she gave me a journal when I was 7 years old. And when I first started writing in the journal, I didn't have any idea what I wanted to say. So I asked her. My aunt showed me luggage. And inside this luggage were these beautiful little books, similar to the one she'd given me. She says, these are mine. I write about whatever I want. Some days I write about my garden and how it's growing well. Sometimes I write about people in the grocery store and how they don't know what they're doing. And sometimes I write about the things that hurt me that I can't tell other people. So I thought, okay, that'll work. I started writing in my journals. I wrote in my journals every single day. As a matter of fact, I am still a journaler. And I still have luggage, which was really weird. Because when you get married to a man in the military, and it's time